So I'm going to turn my microphone back on now. The dogs in the house that I'm house sitting for are going nuts. I don't think they're Provence fans.
They're big ProD2 fans of Brive.
I don't know what the chat is. One of them's coming over now. What's going on?
What do you think of Provence? Huh?
What do you reckon? No, tails wagging, but that's all I can. That's all I can glean from that. Thank you very much for watching. This is our review of ProD2 round 25. There are 5 more regular season rounds to go before the playoffs. And Joe Worsley sat there in the sunshine in Brive. 34 degrees it's going to be today, or it is today, you say?
It was beautiful. I was at the pool earlier. At the pool today, lovely.
Was there any training today in that heat?
No, day off today.
Oh, lovely.
Pool. Watching the old ladies do aqua aerobics in the municipal swimming pool. Lovely. Outdoor pool.
You have to wear Speedos, is that right, in France?
Yeah, I did. And I think I borrowed my son's by mistake. So I was almost like a Borat-esque levels of tightness.
Well, you were enjoying the pool with more points in the bank, a win against Valence Roman, who have been dangerous in recent weeks, but you managed to keep them to 9 points, Joe.
Yeah, a lovely team, man. I've been watching them, obviously, on the lead up to this game, watched a lot of their matches. Their budget's pretty small, but the start of the season they're a bit shaky, but they've gone down. We talked before about like, structured teams. It's quite easy to get up and running and get things right and win some games at the start. But teams that persevere with a game plan that's more complicated, it takes longer. And with Valence, that's what they've done. They've even with their second team, which is pretty much who they played against us, they were fighting it out until half time. Very impressive. Really, the coaching staff have done a great job there.
Obviously, it's not in Brive's perspective, it's not mathematically the case, but it looks like with a 12-point cushion to 7th that you're in a very, very good place to make the playoffs. But you're currently in 2nd, 8 points behind Grenoble. But Provence got a big win away at Dax to keep the heat on you.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to beat Provence at home, beat Grenoble at home, and if we do those 2 games and manage to win a couple of away games, we could even finish first, but we're not really bothered about that. It's been in the top 2. You get a home semi-final. Home semi-final is a huge, huge difference for the team. So our goal is that. Provence are chasing us down for it. And they're a fantastic team. So it's getting exciting now, put it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, the game Brive against Provence is the late kickoff on Friday next week, which again, you talked about this block of fixtures, and you obviously don't want to give the game away, but will the rotations start coming in with some of the team selections now managing resources?
Yeah, I mean, Provence might have the thought that they got absolutely humped in the first one. They had the home game. They beat Dax. Anyway, will they come to us and say, look, let's put a marker down, let's win this, and try and get into that semi? Or is it, I don't want to risk going there, putting all my chips in, losing, and then coming back and having another home game with all the guys fried at the end of a 5-game block? So this is where you're going to get coaches trying to make some big calls. Have to wait and see what happens this weekend. Could affect that heavily.
Yeah, it's on in the positions below. Soyo, Angoulême, they're sneaking up. They were outside the playoffs not so long ago, and there they are sitting there on just 6 points behind you, Joe.
Yeah,
what's different with them?
They've been going quite well all year. Again, they're a team that's put in place a game plan that allows them to score a lot of points. They play from anywhere. They'll play the ball wherever it is. They'll play it if it's fast. And they recruited quite well. Ben Botica playing there is a very good player. So they're a team who I think if they do make the playoffs could do something because they've no fear about anyone. They can score loads of points. So they've got no fear about going into the playoffs. And being worried about that, for them, be a revelation to get into the playoffs and then see what they do afterwards. They're a lovely team to watch. Been impressive this year. They won a couple of away games and in the last block, and that's dragged them back up into the playoff kind of mix.
Taking Stade Niçois out of the picture, because obviously they're already relegated. The fact that 15th spot is only 15th, second bottom to 8th is only 7 points. That is massive because this time of the season, you could imagine otherwise, there would. I mean, are dead rubbers a thing? They must be a thing in French rugby if the league isn't as competitive as this is.
Yeah, if you've got two guys definitely going down, it would be different, wouldn't it? But now you've got several teams who are going to be very nervous about what they're doing. Again, this is going to affect what teams do in their selections. Resting people, playing people, it's going to have an impact on... Because those teams in that fight will probably not be doing what Provence might do and go for 2 games at the end of the block. They might send their bin juice to a game and then put all their eggs in that basket later. You agree with me, yeah? Hamish the dog agrees with me.
I think someone might be coming to the door. I don't know. Sorry, where were you, Joe?
So I was just saying about these teams who are fighting to stay out of that relegation zone are the teams that might rest people for one of the games, the away game maybe, to not have any risks about that home game, put all their eggs in that basket on the home game to get that result.
And also, it's so consequential. I'm just looking at the fixtures coming up, and so many teams that are in those positions are playing each other. For example, next week, Soyo Angoulême, who are hunting a playoff spot and maybe still got in their mind that they could get top 2 if they get a run of games, they're playing against Montauban, who are massively motivated to try and move up from 7th as well. So it's what I love about ProD2. When I'm looking at the Premiership at the minute, and you have a few teams at the bottom that have nothing to play for. You look at other leagues. It's less so the case, but it's even a little bit the case in the top 14. But ProD2 specifically, and I don't know. I'm just fascinated by how, as coaches and players, you kind of manage the emotions and the kind of physical demands of this period.
Yeah, it's just that 11-month season. It's going to be an endurance. The teams that have been managed really well during the season have had enough rest, been pushed hard enough. They're coming into this period of the season in a better position than the guys who've got some crazy emotional lunatic in charge who will be driving them all the time. And they've either fired him or they're mentally broken themselves. So some teams coming into this are going to be in a good place, thinking, yeah, we're fresh enough to go for it. Their goal could be to get into the playoffs. It could be to stay up in the league. Now they're going to be in a better position to do it. Now it's just the question of how many guys are fit, how much rugby they played. Am I going to take my first team to play away and then risk losing this game, or can we try and win both games? And then for some teams, it's not just that. Some teams are going to lose this weekend, then they've got to win every other game. So they're going to start to take their first team to every match.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, you have all your plans laid out. Oh, we'll do this. This is our thoughts for selection. But then a result that you're not expecting in either direction comes in, and you have to start again.
Tactically, there's a lot you can do. I mean, it's strategy, not tactics, but strategy for the season's a tough one. Yeah, what you do in those situations. That's where experience helps.
So we have got Grenoble going away to Valence Romans. Provence played Béziers. Looks like a tasty game this weekend. Valence Grenoble is the Thursday night game. Nevers, Soyo Angoulême, Aurillac, Colomiers, Stade Montois against Oyonnax. Oyonnax. What's the story there? They've come down from top 14 and they've really struggled in this league this season.
Yes, I think the head coach leaving, they were already not firing all cylinders, and then Joe went to coach England, so he's been in and out. It's a very strange situation. That's probably affected them as well. But yeah, they've certainly a team that, with the budget they got, they should be doing much better than they are, and they're not.
Yeah, I think possibly the most consequential games could be at the foot of the table this weekend, with Aurillac and Stade Montois both being at home to teams that are, that they would think are beatable. Particularly, is it Aurillac playing? No, Stade Montois playing Oyonnax, which they might fancy that one at home, and that could be huge in the playoff picture. Could drag that as a bit of a relegation 10-pointer potentially, because Oyonnax could be
Mont-de-Marsan a good example of the situation we're in now. The two coaches got fired from Mont-de-Marsan after they lost last weekend. Now sometimes that can zoop up a team if the coaches weren't doing well or weren't liked. Sometimes it can put more pressure on the team to perform and go the other way. So you get into that kind of soap opera side of a professional sport when things like this happen. So yeah, they could come out with that mental mindset, we've got to win this, got to do this, but sometimes the pressure can be more painful than helpful.
What is the spiciest derby? I'll finish with this, Joe. What's the spiciest derby of the 16 teams that are in ProD2?
I think if Bayonne and Biarritz were in the same league, it would have been that, but years ago it was that. But I think Mont-de-Marsan and Dax is probably two places that really don't like each other. Really, and not far, around half an hour, 40 minutes, 45, I think. Anyway, they hate each other. They're from the same region, massive competition. They really dislike each other. I think that one is a big one.
Well, if Mont-de-Marsan get a result this weekend, then they could have Dax in their sights with that fixture coming up in only a few weeks' time. Look forward to it.
That would be exciting.
Enjoy watching the ProD2 rugby this weekend. Go well with Brive, Joe, and we'll speak on the other side.